Okay, back to Bully. I was making sense it landed on my name, but got shoved by Twitch Mobile and it's stupidly long bullshit lays. That is nuts. That's crazy long. Like, so if something happened now, I could be like, Mojo, the world's exploding. You won't know for ages now.
Hey, good looking.
What's up?
Oh, you're
At least
so
it all worked out in the
angry,
end. That's
but
true.
I think you've got a softer side.
Haven't you caused enough trouble?
Stop touching my helmet.
Fair. I'm a nice girl. I'm nice to everyone. Now everyone hates me.
You're a slutbag gold digger.
Look, I'm sorry.
Well, okay. But now Johnny and his boys won't even speak to me.
Because you're a
Boys can
slutbag
get really jealous
gold
when they
digger.
find out you've been kissing another boy.
It wasn't like that. I'm not like that.
Okay.
Were you saving his lips? Were they about to like evaporate and you had to hold them in place until the glue arrived?
My book, my keys, my perfume, my lipstick.
Thank you for the
my
quote,
laundry.
Raylan.
Everything. Now I've got nothing.
You got
I
scarf?
don't have much money.
That's too bad.
Maybe
Maybe you
could
should
get
sell
them
your
back
jacket
for
with
me?
the
You
fake
want me to
animal.
steal your stuff back from a bloodthirsty mob of angry greaseballs?
Sounds
I'd
pretty
be
fun.
Very grateful, Jimmy.
How
Very
grateful. Yeah, but how grateful? Like money grateful, butthole grateful. You know, like what level are we talking? Oh, what are you doing? Son of a bitch! What? I just want to go do missions for a lady. You what? You twisted. Your girl's a hoe. I'm so knowing I'm gonna get away from these dudes. I can just like skate and goofy. Yeah.
Hey, what's going on?
Don't you dare speak to me or my child again. This was not the shortcut I thought it might be.
And I thought this was gonna be a boring day. You better not slow down. You better not slow down.
Wait, do you want me to run away from you? I guess he doesn't actually want to fight. He just wants to front, right? Oh, I actually wanted to go around here. Could you go? Wait, could you fuck off? Dickhead. Will you fuck off? I'm trying to do a mission. Will you fuck off? I'm trying to do a mission.
Come on, hero. Walk forward, don't Come on, hero. Come on, hero.
Fucking pieces of shit. Into the bollocks. Oh shit. Nice. Okay. Now no one's gonna see me. Okay. You broke the kid ain't yours and everybody know. It's so good, right, man? It's just one of those flows that just goes so nicely together.
Now this feels good.
All the big ballers! Get me outside. This is violent assault with a deadly weapon. Because he's a vampire.
Sometimes I wonder what I did when my parents sent me here. Well, what are we gonna do about it?
Fucking vampires, man.
Always get the right tool for the job.
Yeah. I got her address book. That's crazy.
I found that combing my hair smooths my mind out.
Smooth your mind out. Now they can't piss.
What are we gonna do
I'm a
about
savage. I'm a road runner. Oh, I can probably smash through here, right? Find a way to knock down walls? I have an idea. Watch this shit. Watch this shit.
What are we gonna do about it?
Oh. I was hoping my head would work. I just need to level up.
If I don't get out of here soon, someone's gonna get hurt. Well, what are we gonna do about it?
Can I pick something up to throw? I feel like I should be able to throw something through there, right?
If I don't get out of here soon, someone's gonna get hurt. Well, what are we gonna do about it?
Yeah, boy, that's it. Get it requested, my man. Maybe I should just keep punching it.
If I don't get out of here soon, someone's gonna get hurt. Well, what are we gonna do?
Maybe I need a flamethrower. I'll go find a flamethrower. Hey, look at that nerd over there.
If I don't get out of here soon, someone's gonna get hurt.
We gotta get out of this place. If it's the last thing we ever do, we gotta get out of this place. Girl, there's a better life for me and you. I feel like I should be able to do a badass jump there, you know? But alas.
Boys, it's Jimmy. Back me up.
Damn it. Oh wait, is this a shopping cart? Can I not ram a shopping cart through there? Oh, maybe I have to ram a bully through there.
I'm gonna smoke your butt. You're going down hard, pal.
Come this way, please.
You're going down hard, pal.
Yeah, come this way, please.
After I'm done hitting you, I'm gonna sit on you.
No, let me grab you. Don't be a dick. Oh, that didn't work. No, stop it. I'm trying to make a better place for us all, okay? And you're all just being dicks. Could you not?
Too easy. After I'm done hitting you, I'm gonna sit on you. This is too easy.
That's it. I'm pretty sure one guy just knocked himself down there, basically. Ow! That's a deadly weapon. Thank God I got a helmet on.
Hey, what can you do? I know it sucks.
That's right. You are neutered now. Where's your stick?
Come on, someone make me angry. This town can't fix my heart with a wrench.
Oh, that makes me very mad.
Making me redo my essay just because I handed in my brother's old one. Like
That's
that
for
matters.
me.
So I still haven't figured out how to smash down those walls. Maybe I can use this stick. Maybe stick on stick works. Like diamonds. You know?
I don't want to
No.
be alone anymore, man. I'm sick of being such a loser with the ladies.
I know. Life's
Maybe
short.
I have to shoot fireworks. No. Shoot you down. Maybe shoot you down.
Honestly, I don't think I'll ever be happy again. Not without her.
Yeah, that's clown time, all right.
Hmm.
She wouldn't have left you if you'd just given her a
She's
bite.
reading too many
Could have rode into the
romance
sunset.
books.
Maybe I'll find something at the top of the building. That
I don't know
helps.
if I got the strength to fix my fight.
Tougher
I'm kind
already.
of sick of it. Fix.
I know. Life's short, then you die.
You're on the wrong side of. Whoa, what are you doing?
Whoa! What the fuck is that?
Taking out the trash.
I'm guessing that's what I use.
That's what I have to do. I just love wrecking things with my hands.
That's... I mean, I said that bit of wood was a deadly weapon. This is definitely a deadly weapon. Can I praise peace? Just spins wildly. I'm gonna die actually. Yeah, I'm dead. Shit. Oh, okay. Just start from where we are. Okay. Oh shit. How am I meant to dodge this? There isn't like a dodge button.
Alright, idiots. Let's go.
What's wrong, buddy? Shit, I got too close again. Loving the Tarantino-esque music here, though. This guy's terrible at covering his shots, right? Oh, come on now! Why did he have to listen to me on that last bit? Well, I know what to do now.
Don't cross me now.
You just gotta wait for the block and then get away for the spin. Oh, that's the spin I need to watch out for. It's pretty neck breaking. Ah! Not just like Congress, all up on my ass and shit. Oh, I didn't mean to do a double hit. God damn it.
Why did I ever come here?
Why did we come here? Just for Lola? She's swacked, she's twisted. The girl's a hoe. Oh, come on, stop doing it. I don't want to get good, Almighty. Stop encouraging me to develop myself. God damn it. I need to stop being cocky on those 2 hitters. I need to just do 1 hit, walk back. And then when he's like that, 2 hits, then walk back. So do 1 hit, get some. 1 hit, get some. Get some. Get some. 1 hit, get some. You little bitch, you weren't meant to do that move. Stop doing that move! That's an illegal move at this point! Oh, I got cocky there. Yeah, thank fuck. God damn it.
Someone step up.
God damn it, that took a while. Okay. Pretty good at smashing though. Can I smash the beams? Can I cause like a catastrophic house collapse? Nice. Oh, we can't take those ones out. Right. Can I... Oh, that's the wall we smashed through, isn't it? Okay. Right, so... Where's my camera being, Gammy? Come on. Do I have to smash my way out of here? I assume we're meant to go back in here. Oh, okay. Now it's working. Can I smash a bar? Oh, there's no bar. Huh. What a strange world we live in. Nope.
What have we here?
Big now nothing. That's what we got here.
I'm just gonna collect this.
Keys, nice. This is also going to be brutal to hit people with at school. I could see it getting confiscated real quick.
That's not trash.
Bottle of perfume. No, I don't want to leave.
Let's get down to business.
I just want to open the window. Oh no, why would I leave though? Let me have my... No, come on. They don't let me keep it? That's bullshit. That's some straight up bullshit. I wanted to keep the giant hammer. I want to batter some nerds, you know? I'm trying to get out of here before I hurt, but you're the ones who are trying to hurt me. The person's a well-oiled machine, I'm afraid they're going to get me. Oh yeah. I know, all I wanted was a nice healthy bash, you know? I wanted to go to school and bash.
Thanks,
I am, yeah. Got some herpes for me?
You're even better up close.
Oh yeah. Level 12 herpes.
Lipstick, you beast.
There was never any doubt.
Another mission right here.
Hey,
Oh, and I got another
you
thing.
help me with something?
Can I? Is there one that's close? What's the time? 11. I should probably get to school. Oh yeah, so right, so we finished chemistry. We need to do art, we need to do shop. Biology we're well close on. Geography we're fucking up on. English we're fucking up on. Gym, photography, music, and math. Okay.
Hey, ooh, jerk.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to school. We'll come back and do some more nighttime missions in a bit. I don't want to miss my lessons.
Hopkins, get out here! Right center! Right now! Hopkins, get back here! Go!
They're telling me to get back here so they can take me to my dorm room. Like, they need to figure their shit out. It's power hungry hall monitors, you know. We're not even in a hall. Okay.
Why'd she leave? Why?
Dude never takes his shoes off when he gets into bed. Like, what's that about?
She's got the
Never
hot
gets under his
stuff, I
covers
know.
either.
My mom calls me Prince Algie.
I can't believe
She
this
says
is
I'm really
this place
special.
is supposed to be the
Like
best
a prince,
of
you
the
know?
best.
Enjoy your trip.
It's Chilean tryouts, Beatrice. You didn't make it again, love Mandy. Role-playing guild looking for new members, especially girls. Contact Melvin. Jobs. Harrington House employees. Poor students for menial work. See Channel Gord. Pillow fight tonight. Girls' dorm. No boys allowed. Okay. 70 rubber bands scattered throughout the world. No. Wet-proof sheets now available. Algernon and others who may need them. See Miss Peabody. Get them. I lost a letter from my mummy. Please return it, Algernon. Museum trip cancelled. Money needed for football team. Motherfucker. It's not even the correct type of football.
Why would
Pins and money boots of his catch. Fuck your couch, Fizzle! God damn, I missed the Chappelle show, man.
Why are you picking on me?
Fight me, Dewey.
I feel like
Styles I know. I could crush you, man.
How did Washington carve up so many prizes?
Hey you.
This guy fell
Hey
off
you.
the end of a
Oh, hi.
Great drink choice.
Hey there.
I really respect it.
Hey.
Well done.
All right.
Hey now.
Anything
What
going
can I
on?
do for you?
How are you?
I want to be like
You
you
okay?
when I get to be a
You all
big
right?
kid.
How's it going?
Do you want me to
Hey,
find
hey.
someone for you
Hey
to
there.
beat up?
What's up?
Hey now.
What's going on?
What can I do
What's
for
going
you?
on? Hey, what's up?
Hey now.
Hey, you.
What can I do
What's
for
new?
you?
Hi.
Anyway,
Greetings,
go now,
friend.
sir.
Man, that one, you rich motherfucker.
Hey.
Hey now.
Hi there.
What can I do for you?
You're such a num-num.
Num
If
mum.
I can't be a physician, I guess I could be a lawyer, but that would be
To be on
totally
time is to be
embarrassing.
late. Just keep your nose clean.
No cocaine in school. Oh, art class is hard now.
In this assignment,
What if remembered?
pay particular attention to the emotions you experience and try to get them onto the page.
Rage. Oh, this one makes me want to do this rage. Because there's so many fucking things in it now. Fuck, see. Oh fuck, it's chasing me. Fuck, I walked straight into that one. Like a plank. A planker. Oh fuck. Well, we failed out again.
Concentrate today.
Hey, girly.
Can you give me
I hope you like them.
I do need help. Let's mac out.
Are your friends? So sweet.
I know, right?
I like
And you just finished class.
How can I be?
Oh yeah. Game on.
Hi. I can't wait to graduate so I can do that all the
Wait, I didn't put my health up.
How are you?
If you kiss once
You
a
look
day,
great in this
you'll
light.
live longer.
Oh, you mean I get 50% more health? And I don't believe I did.
I heard like 10 people made out. Mr.
Savage.
Patrick called me
Now I'm
a
pregnant and I didn't even get healthy.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Okay.
You deserve it, bully.
I'm joking.
Just follow me about and shit. She wants to see my radness.
We do we.
I'm sorry for whatever I did to you.
Did you see that trick, Gail? Oh yeah, that was for you. It was called Gail.
Hurt me today. Leave me
Here's my trick.
Dressing like me now.
Hi. Monkey belly. How's it going, buddy?
Y'all are getting in my way for a rad skateball trick. Skateball? I'm sticking with it. Skateball!
I'm pretty sure we can board somewhere else now. Maybe.
Here I come. So dreamy.
Oh shit. What are you doing? Get the fuck off. Well, let's do my skateboarding. It's healthy.
You should not have done hide. No troublemakers are going to run right and forward. You got some nerves.
I can't believe anyone likes having life. It's surprisingly
I'm sure this year will be much better than last. I hope.
I'd rather confuse. Save it for someone who cares.
You know that.
Get to your designated class.
I'll wait.
I was gonna say it's not me doing the next bit.
Beautiful.
Dork losers, get 'em! That's actually a bit mean. I hope I didn't hurt anyone's feelings. And Zero, my boy! Am I being the best bully? I just called people dork losers through graffiti.
Patrick called me.
I'm doing well. Yeah. How you doing today, dude?
Mr. Bell, I'll make your life hell.
Mr. Bell, make life hell? I like that. That's a good little thing. That one like prefect is it's chill. I'm trying to get to class. It's so fucking far away. Unless you put like actual fucking like buses in the school, I'm never gonna be on time to all the classes. And look at that shit. Straight up assault on my way to class. I mean, yeah. Def top tier. Okay, nice, yeah. Whee. And your day's top tier? Cause that's even better. Right. What we playing at gym today?
Maggots, we'll be playing dodgeball for the next while.
Aye.
Dodgeball. How I love the sound of boys crying in the morning. Much like real life, the strongest will prevail.
Oh, okay, I thought you meant
All
boys
right, you
crying in the
lazy
morning.
bums, look alive.
I've forgotten how to play this again.
With the wimps.
Hold up.
Try not to lose this.
This is gonna be.
Okay.
Give up now.
You better be ready to lose, cause I'm ready to win. You wanna give up now?
This is really gonna be
You don't
embarrassing
have a
for you.
chance against this
gonna end badly.
Okay, hero.
You know who I
Let's see
am,
what
right?
you got. There's only gonna be one of us, Victoria. Me.
Get off my field, boy. Dodge, dodge, dog, dive. Fuck me. Dodge, dog, dip, dive, dodge. You can obviously see I'm great at it. I didn't mean to do that.
You don't forget the chance.
Give me the ball. Stop being a dickhead. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. Fuck off, bitch.
This is gonna be easy.
Just give up now.
Prepare to taste the bitter fruit of loss.
Look where you're going. This is my time to shine, so just.
Oh shit.
It's a loser eclipse.
What? How's you press A to catch, right?
What is wrong with you guys?
God damn it. Okay, we'll do the Stream Raiders battle in just a second, yo.
This is gonna be easy.
Just give up now.
You don't have a chance.
So it is A's throw, B's jump. It's so weird. And then hang on, A is catch, yeah.
Victoria.
Finish this.
You're so gonna lose, Mustard Stein.
You guys don't have a hope in heck of winning.
Nobody beats me. What is this?
Just give up now.
There's only gonna be so one of us.
Okay.
Sorry, my way.
Got him.
I knew I should have been on another team.
I only got to do one more in gym class, and then I'm the ultimate gym classer.
I rule.
I'm now more accurate.
I always knew.
Why is my speech so bad today? What the fuck is happening?
I think I broke a nail or something. Major emergency.
That does sound pretty major. You won't beat my head in. That'll be murder. They're gonna rip out something. Hopefully my negative emotions. Yeah. So we need to go up to Bullworth Town again. Aye. Why would I want to eat my heart? That's the dumbest thing you've said. Help! I can't help. I've got monsters after me. Quick revert. Let's carry on. See ya. Oh shit.
It's not my fault.
excellent boxer. I found a I'm excellent boxer.
Don't hurt each other too much.
This kid's having a fight.
I normally don't like this kind of thing, but this is kind of
Yeah, sort it out, Prefect. Some of us are trying to get to work.
These new kids.
Get wrecked! Oh wow, that's a pretty good mentor though. He was like, no, my job means I keep chasing those kids no matter what. Honestly, this taxi's fucking, it's a joke, mate. It's a joke. Look how slow he's going. I might as well run after it. Get out of here. I need a bike, and yours is the nearest one. After a while, reptile. I haven't heard that one. Obviously, like, see you later, alligator. In a while, crocodile. But after a while, reptile. I haven't heard that before. Okay, let's rumble. Jimmy here.
There he is, my hero.
Cue music. Don't need money, don't need change, don't need credit card to ride this range.
First of all, I'm not sure
I
really
don't know
care
what
about
song that
that.
is, but it
And
sounds
second,
fly
what do
as
you think I've
fuck.
been doing?
Tad fights for me. Gord fights for me. Johnny, well, he certainly fights for me.
Mate!
In fact, they're all about to fight for me. Right
Oh, it's Back to the
now.
Future! Oh, okay, right, okay.
Fighting.
Tad and
Sorry, I heard it's hip
Gord
to be square, so,
are
you know,
here to
I
fight
try not to...
Johnny and his boys. All because of me. I'm like Helen of Troy.
So there's gonna be a big fight? A winner-take-all sort of thing?
Yes, everyone's involved apart from you.
I disappointed you for the last time? Oh, that's good. That means it's only good, right? Oh, no, you mean you unfollowed. See, I was hoping it was like, you've disappointed for the last time, so that means you can never disappoint me again, so like, smooth sailing. Have you not thought of it that way? Wow, he just came straight at me, little bitch. I can't say mad at you. Yeah! Refollow. Look at all this craziness going down. It's straight riot. Oh, I need a bike, really, for this. But feel free to song request it. So then when we go to a break, we'll hear it. We've got one song on the song request waiting. It'll come on straight after that one.
Now tell me where Johnny is so I can...
It sounds like the Street Fighter sounds in the background at the moment.
But I ain't telling you
Wait,
nothing. And I thought this was gonna be a
I ain't telling you nothing, so he's going to tell me everything.
open wide.
I don't want no skateboard, what the fuck? Wait. Oh shit, alright, you wanna go? Yeah, that's how I fight, boy. I'm a firecracker.
Who won? Me, Jimmy Hopkins.
Yeah.
Who?
Jimmy McCoy Hopkins. McCoy Hopkins.
You. Who? Jimmy Hopkins. Correct. That's right, lady.
My house.
Me. I'm the daddy now.
Huey, Louie, and the News. Yeah.
Treacherous little snake. You think
The
you're
power
tough,
of love.
You don't need any more of this, Johnny.
Do do do.
You laugh at me? You turn on me? You get it on with that harlot who I love?
Maybe you should stop calling her like slut and harlot, dude.
All right, calm down, man. It's cool.
Well, let's have it.
Lost. No big
Let's
deal.
fucking have it.
We can all be friends.
No, we can't. Let's have it.
You're done, kid. Finished.
Totally fucked up the lyrics.
You'll learn
Well,
to keep
Mojo
your
Mojo
hands
fucked up the
on
lyrics. That's what you're saying right now. That's what you're saying. Oh shit! Johnny's gonna get busted by 5-0. Or maybe I'm about to get busted by 5-0. Oh shit! They just killed a policeman. Hey, I got a free bike out of it. Just try and blow up their police vehicle.
Let's go.
Hey, I'm back. How you doing, dude? Thievery? It's not thieving. It's borrowing, because I don't plan to lock it up and keep it. We're going to just drop it back on the floor, if anything. The bot is slow today. Yeah, I think it's because it's you know, it's still relatively new into the year. The bot's still got its New Year hat on, you know. I think I'm gonna kill Johnny in this junkyard, right? Whoa! You see that shit? Oh, you see that shit? That was brutal. That could have killed me and my family.
Jimmy, help me get to the crane.
Wait, is that Pete? Oh, Bronson had asked me if I'd got to the crane bit yet.
I'm coming for you.
Where is the crane?
Not a librarian and not a dang.
Watch out, Jimmy.
Watch out! Watch out!
Open wide.
Forget it all. Do I have to like run across the whole thing, maybe?
You better start running.
Hey, I gotta learn karate or something.
I did start running. Where are you?
Open wide. I gotta stop being such a weird.
I'm coming for you.
This is how they educate people. It's no wonder this country's such a dump.
My girlfriend's gonna
I span out of my own marbles.
Until I die. Adolescence is like being tortured for
coming for
5
you.
years.
Where's Jonathan? That's terrible. Ow, could you just go stop it?
I'm coming for you. Open wide. I'm coming for you. Open wide. I'm coming for you.
So I'm pretty sure we gotta get him under that magnet thing at some point, but I don't know if I'm meant to be doing anything to activate the magnet. I think Pete said he was gonna try and get there. Maybe I gotta help Pete. Oh yeah. I have to help Pete. Yeah. Don't know why I'm going for you next, but you just turned up on my auto aim, so I was doing alright.
I'm gonna leave skid marks all over you.
I'll find you, stupid.
And the guy just wiped his butt on me. That's... Is that like sexual assault? I'm gonna say yeah.
Hey, Jimmy, help me get to the crane.
It's all about Pete. Never about Jimmy.
I got him where I need him.
Ow, could you not, you prick?
Man, I gotta stop being such a weird. Open wide.
I'm coming for you.
Jimmy's my friend. That's what you get for messing with Jimmy. That's what you get for messing with Jimmy.
That's what you get.
That's what you get for messing with Jimmy.
I'm coming for you.
That's what you get for messing
Oh, that was a bit closer.
Tell my girl.
That's what you get for messing with Jimmy. That's all. I'm getting
You and me are gonna settle this real soon. For you.
Oh, I felt vibration there. Yeah, boy.
I'm still gonna beat
Let's
you.
see how you do in an even fight.
You think you can challenge me? I'm just toying.
Oh shit. Oh shit, he's got some moves, this lad.
I'm just toying.
Oh shit, I failed. Fuck.
I'll be alright.
I thought I was doing it right.
Toying with you, kid.
I shouldn't have thrown so many dynamites. I should have just punched him in the face. We got it though. No, Bakura, I don't want no scrub, alright? Because the scrub's the kind of guy that ain't getting no love from me. He's getting out of the back seat ride of the passenger side, trying to hollow at me. Like, what's that about? You know?
Got him where I need him. I'm coming for you.
No, I don't want no scrub.
I gotta stop being such a weird. Man, I gotta stop being such a weird. That's what you get for messing with
Coming
Jimmy.
for you.
That's what you get for messing with Jimmy. That's what you get for messing with Jimmy. That's what you get for messing with Jimmy.
I'm coming for you.
That's what you get for messing with Jimmy. That's all of them. I'm getting to the crane.
I'm coming for you. I'm still gonna beat
Let's
you.
see how you do
Yeah, get him. Oh, shit. First time, right? Wow.
I was the daddy. Got it?
I'm your father. Okay, Johnny? I'm your
Alright,
father.
I give up. You can have her.
Who? What are you talking about, Johnny?
Lola, you win. She's yours.
This has
Sure it
nothing
was.
to do with her, man. I don't care. You can keep that slut for yourself.
What? You don't
They've
love
called
her?
us sluts so many
Why
times
did
in
you do
this.
Why'd you fight? Just to prove you're tougher
Fun?
than me?
Yeah.
That's right. And don't you or
Fucking
your
Jimmy
boys forget,
fucking Hopkins,
I'm
mate.
tougher than you.
Oh,
So
this
maybe now you
fucking
stop
shit.
bullying everyone. You work for me now.
Yeah. Give me a jacket. I want a leather jacket. Give me it.
I'm starting to feel pretty good about myself.
Chapter 4. Oh.
I'm just taking
But wasn't there
control of
still...
the school's worst cliques.
I felt like there
I
were
know
still
there
other
are
missions to
bigger
do
problems just
there,
around
though.
the corner. Problems with overdeveloped pituitary
I hope I didn't miss
glands
anything.
and brains the size of
I do have another sister that I need to give to the homeless dude.
The thing is, Pete, now that I'm cool, I'm not sure we can be friends anymore. What?
Oh, savage! Oh, okay, thank God.
Funny, Jimmy.
What? Jimmy, dude.
With this place,
Breaking my
career
heart,
on
man.
stage weights. Maybe like a male stripper or something, huh?
Aw. Aw.
What about Gary? I haven't seen him. But
about
whenever
Gary,
I
a
hear
fucking
somebody
knob?
say I used to be a girl and had a sex change, or that my mother slept with Crabble Snitch to get me in here,
Maybe
I
she
think
did.
to myself, Gary, what a jerk! You don't even call me a dork.
Oh!
I guess he's not always wrong. Is that what you really think? Whatever, Jimmy. You know, I stand up for you, and you still think I'm a dork.
You are a
You're
dork, but it
jerk,
doesn't mean we can't be
and you're
friends.
A dork, so we're equal. Whatever. I'm leaving. Ow!
Now maybe next time you'll watch where you're going.
What'd
Yeah,
you
that's
do
fair.
that for?
Oh, I'm sorry.
He didn't do shit.
Psycho. Did I hit your boyfriend?
Yeah, Psycho, you gonna try to kick our asses now?
No,
Sure.
I think I'll do that more publicly.
Ooh, I'm really scared right now. Really scared. I
Gary's
know.
mum is straight hoe. Yeah,
Whatever,
she's
pretty
straight
boy.
hoe.
You'll get yours.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Jimmy, you're getting a bit cocky, mate.
Go have some fun in the communal showers. Ooh, I just dropped my soap. Please pick it up for me. Losers.
Wow.
Pete,
No need
get
to be
up. I
homophobic
think
there,
we found
Jimmy.
some new people to have some
Jeez.
fun with.
Jimmy's starting to turn into a
I
Gary.
gotta go.
No. Push me, you little shit.
I like you, Jimmy,
So
but I probably
unfair.
shouldn't.
I can't believe
You know,
I've got more
They all
important things
call
to
me
worry
a
about.
teacher's pet. I don't understand why.
Have you ever
Yeah, but you made my...
Dumbass.
You got something for me?
Somebody wants to be handicapped.
What would you call a yardstick in the metric system?
Why won't
I like you, Jimmy,
leave me
but I probably
alone?
shouldn't. You know.
What's the dealio, dude?
Time.
What's cooking?
Why am I so attracted to bad boys?
Run away.
Bye now.
Run away.
Want to graduate. See you soon.
Why are you trying to skate, dude?
Gotta get new
What, like-
sheets again.
Biology, okay. Okay, biology's been alright, actually. Let's try it. This is the last one for biology as well.
Remember,
We're really good at science, apparently. Chemistry was easy. Biology's been alright. It's just fucking everything. Oh, Stream Raiders, fuck. Good shout. Right. Okay, let me do it quickly now. I think we should have time. It shouldn't start the game until we press A. But yeah, nice shout. I completely forgot Stream Raiders. Let's go. Oh shit, Ina's got a floating skull. That's boss. Bone Balloon Buster. Is it your bone daddy? Oh, just the one nerd. Okay. Einan's bone daddy's gonna go teach him a lesson. Fucking exploded on impact. Einan's bone daddy just exploded everywhere. Okay, and this time we said we would give the prize to Mr. Brown. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you get him, my man. Let's go. One hit, I know. That's all he needs. Einan was the inspiration for 8 Mile. Okay, so this is an unknown battle. Yeah, respect his bone daddy. So I still need to get more tank shields and shit. So, place your troops now. And I've done what? I've got 1 assist still as a tank. God damn it. Okay, back to the game. No. No what? Oh, you're not gonna help fight? Or what? Does this beat make you want to help get down? Yeah, it's basically a kamikaze, isn't it? Man, if science lessons had music like this in it back in school, I'd have been down. I'm gonna have to cut this dude's penis off. I can already see, like, you can see sometimes when the image is meant to be like taken away. It's like a little bit higher res. I'm gonna have to cut the penis off this pig. Or wherever it is, I can't actually remember anymore. It's not a pig. What the fuck is this? There's a snout at least. Oh! Oh, I don't now. It's magnified. Oh, it's an umbilical cord! Okay. It's not its penis. It's just a dead fetus animal. Aww. That baby animal is so cute. I thought it was just a really fucked up penis. Oh, down here. Get some. Oh, doesn't it look just yummy? Get in your hole. So, got to find heart. A little known fact, heart is what pumps your blood round. Yeah. As you can see, this one's quite misshapen because it looks nothing like a butt. And all hearts look exactly like butts. Cutting all day long. It's a shame that music stopped. I think it does it most times, but it should just keep replaying, like keep repeating. It's a pretty damn good beat. There we go. No one really needs lungs. It's just what doctors want you to think, you know. Come here.
Oh, that smells great.
Smells great. Grape. Oh shit, I don't have long to do this one. Ooh. Panic sets in. Fuck. Cam now. Yeah, we passed biology.
See if you can keep it up, shall we? Well, Hopkins, you seem to have passed biology.
Yeah, I'm pretty
There
fucking
must be
sick.
some scientific explanation for this.
Nope, science is fraud. Everyone knows science isn't
I
real.
should give less.
Pighead unlocked.
That's that nonsense.
Humans.
Someone told me about that already. I got locked in a closet yesterday.
I will
Those
not
guys are
tolerate
such jokers.
Hey, I'm really sorry about that.
Gotta get
Anywho,
the sheets
I
again.
really
Now
met that.
that's
Nerd scum. Get him.
You know what? Guys can be real jerks in this school sometimes.
Am I handsome? Yes. Yes, I am.
Equals 3.159268979.
I'm pretty good.
I only like rich people because my parents are judgmental capitalist scum. I mean, I'm not a professional graffiti artist, but I feel like you need to have your message a bit more concise, you know?
Maybe.
If you haven't to write that many words, you failed at being a graffiti artist. What are you doing? I'm just trying to paint. I'm being artistic, alright? You piece of shit. Fuck you. You ain't gonna catch me. You're the slowest people in the world.
I'm halting your crime wave before it peaks.
Perhaps a
Get
strong
back here.
showing
I've never had a crime wave.
would win me a scholarship.
I will be here. I got you.
Oh shit.
What? Do they always have to run? Please, getting away. You're gonna wish I had. You do know you're not supposed to be doing that.
They're everywhere.
Stop so I can beat you! Tell me how much you love it.
Gotta get
Fucking
my
love it.
shimmies again. Probably shouldn't. You know. See you
Time for lessons. Hey, sweet, it's up here. So what is this? Is this music maybe? No, home economics. No, that is music. Yeah, okay. Just molested a teacher. No, that was a prefect. He wouldn't touch a teacher.
Music should be an
Crime wave. Music 5 as well. Shit, we could graduate from music as well here.
Bang on things.
We're getting let's bang on things. Get ready to do the rock steady. Oh, we're on fucking glockenspiel now. I did say they need to give me the lead part because it's they were getting fucked up by all the other teams. Rock and roll, baby. God damn it, how long is this one gonna go for? This band rocks some fucking rolls, don't you dare. And you have to email Brown, no worries, dude. It's lovely to see you again, my man, and I hope your day has got a little bit better now. Yeah. But we'll catch you soon, hopefully, and enjoy your feast. And I'll just quickly wait for this to load back and see what else I've missed comments-wise.
Music class. Congratulations, you
Yeah.
little drummer boy, you.
Okay. What do I get? 80s rocket outfit. Oh yeah. Okay, I missed some comments. Let me see. This band does not suck. It's amazing. And you're just like Greg's. What? Real tasty, but always give you heartburn. I don't know how that analogy works, but fair. And I will never get off the stage ever, because technically my stage is this really comfy chair. Yeah. So I went into your nearby town to look for open stores today. Oh, you went into my nearby town. Okay. 2:30, and nearly everything was shut. Yeah, but Corey, you realise we're in lockdown, right? Only essential shops are allowed to be open. So like, vast majority of shops are still shut, man. It's just going to be like Sainsbury's and like off licenses, petrol garages. I don't even know if barbers are open or not in like that in town or not. But yeah, I think it's the same in any town, right? Like everything's just still shut.
Darn it. Gotta
Yeah,
get
yeah.
new sheets again. You're gonna get hurt.
Me, dillweed.
Alright, mission time.
You're getting busted. Just you wait.
Oh, what a grind. Beautiful little store. Okay. Oh no, this one is actually saying it is upstairs. So there's a mission up here. Hey, and Kilby, thank you very much for the follow there, buddy. Much appreciated. Okay. Your town had a good amount of places to... Oh, really? But to be fair, there isn't really anything new. Yeah, most of mine is just like convenience-y type shit anyway. Nothing like proper. Yeah, there's not much in my town anyway, yeah. Well, are you looking for anything in particular? Because if you're looking for something a bit more than just like groceries, maybe the big Tesco's. There's one near me. Near where, was it Lauren used to live in the flats? I think, you know what I mean? There's a Tesco near there that will sell like lots of other stuff. There's also one possibly near you, but again, I don't want to say the name of it because it might give a bit too much information. Check most of the supermarkets, right? You trying to find like a new like earmuffs or something? You could order Amazon as well. Should you say the name of it? It's Belvedere. I'll just put it out there. It's Belvedere Junction.
Sorry. Don't worry about it.
Leicestershire. Leicester.
Sure. Take a look. I think I have finally caught the essence of what it means to be a banana. I
do like
really
bananas.
feel my work is
I think he knows yours. I think you've possibly said yours. but
lost on me.
I don't think people know the town I live in at the moment. I hope not, anyway. You'll probably be around here in the near future. Yeah, fair. And you'll be moving from Belvedere to Quelvedere, which is also in Leicester. But not Leicester in Leicestershire. Leicester in Bournemouthshire. Yeah. Not a bluff. No, it's not a bluff. No, they're real places. Read a calendar for once, Simon. Jeez.
And I want to make tonight very special. Would you mind going to collect a few things?
Sure. By the way, there's a perv just sitting there. I think he's scared of raptors. Wait, is she a raptor? Maybe she's wearing teacher's skin. She's keeping her arms like that, though. Look.
Wow. Of course.
Belvedere is a great word, right? Yeah. I did say Belvedere. It popped into my head. It's the actual, like, my nan used to live down a road called Belvedere. And I always liked it as well, yeah. How you doing today, Bronson, baby? Oh, Bronson! I did the junkyard bit of the magnet to take off, like, the bike and shit. Oh, these are all around town. Okay, let me actually go this way and get my bike out rather than skating everywhere. You mean that's not called Fizztown? That's what I've been telling my fan mail. Well, it's been like affectionately renamed Fizztown. Oh, I didn't get anything there. But not officially. Yeah, not officially is it. Not yet. Anyway, it probably will be soon. Okay, right. So that's where your game broke last, the magnet boss. Ah, okay. Yeah, man. So the mods do work perfectly fine. That one was not a problem. The only reason I had to do it a few times was because I just failed it a few times. Beyond that, it's been fine. I'm on chapter 4 now, and I know I don't have to change my frames again till chapter 5. So there's like a chapter. There's one mission in chapter 2. I think 1 or 2 in chapter 3. They have to like change back to 30 frames for, and then 2 levels in chapter 5. So it's not too bad at all, really. And it takes like 2 seconds. You just have, like, I keep up my INI file, which is the file I use to change the FPS. Why is this guy coming? Why is he punching? Okay. The office that you're not allowed to work in due to lockdown is called Belvedere as well. Really? Damn, yo. All these people naming shit off my old nan's road. It wasn't even that good of a road, you know. And that was nice, but it was a bit more of a poor area. It was a bit rough. Oh, these people wishing me good luck. Huh. You see that shit? What's happening? What's happening here? I don't want your bike! Fuck off, I'm just trying to shop.
Hey, you want your haircut?
Oh, I've got to get my haircut again. Actually, I do want my haircut, yeah. Yeah, my haircut's fucking horrible. Because I had to wear hair. I had to get hair to do a mission. But I don't want Jimmy with hair, man. I want him as bald as the day he was born. Possibly. Although people are usually born with hair, aren't they, I guess. Can I not just go bald? I can't actually go bald. Like, how can I never cut my hair proper short again? Or do I just have to go to a different barber's? Savage. Maybe I am in ball of fail hair dressing, so maybe that's why, but savage. Because you said it's been working fine, it had to show you up. Well, the game's been working fine. It's just, I mean, it's a little glitchy at times just because it's an older game, but yeah. That's too much for you to remember switching the FPS that much in the playthrough. Oh, it's not bad at all. Like, literally, I can't show it because my window's not set up properly. But yeah, I just have a notepad file, and you just have to change 30 to 60, save, and reload the game. But you could also just play it at 30 frames per second. I'm a game snob. And I want to play at 60.
Hello.
Hello.
You should try the new Aquaberry vest.
I've already got the Aquaberry vest, and it's itchy, yo. My nips. My poor goddamn. Oh my god, look at all these people. Where did my bike go?
You won't escape me.
Oh, motherfuckers. Wheelie time. You see that little ninja roll from that dude? Oh yeah, world's longest wheelie. Probably not, but... Aquaberry! What's this dude doing? He's trying to break my world record. You got Christmas presents for Raven Bakura? Oh, nice! You saw your nan annoy him, fucking A. Oh, hence why you were, yeah, near my town. Fair, that makes sense. Why is this guy trying to come at me? Endo. Could you fuck off? You're not a good person. You're not a good person at all. Good people do wheelies. Really good wheelies, you know. What is your problem, you piece of shit? Come here, let me touch you. Piece of shit. God damn it, I'm just trying to cycle.
Hey, man.
Hey, man.
Why's this stuff
Ooh,
flying around
sexy
out
dress.
here?
You're a midlife crisis. Get them. Did you look at all the things you can get in the tent at the carny? Oh, no, I haven't actually. That's a good point. Yeah, I haven't seen, like, because there's loads of stuff you can win, isn't there?
See you later.
Alligator? Do you guys want to see a really badass front flip? I didn't do a good front flip. Maybe I can't do front flip. Do you want to see a really badass back flip?
I'm on fire!
Do you see that? Jimmy backflipped straight off of that bike. It was awesome. Leave it out! Piece of shit. Get. What are you doing? Just stand on my tail. Prefects, help me! Prefects! Ow! I've already beaten you up! Fine, I'll steal your bike, because you're a bitch. Get in. Woohoo! I'm actually close to being dead, so... Could you get in the room, please? They're following me into the school. What the hell, man? Teacher, why are they following me? What's the issue? Whew.
Here you go. Oh,
Just wanted an autograph. Or he had a funny way of asking, you know.
no problem.
That's it.
Oh
That's
man,
it,
I
Harry.
can't believe this. My first time with a teacher. Oh man, this is gonna be great.
Hey,
Hey-o.
Jimmy, what are you doing here?
Nothing.
Gonna
what are you
fuck a
doing
teacher.
Ah, well, it's a little awkward.
He's also gonna fuck a
Since you've
teacher.
been such a good friend to me. Ms.
The
Phillips.
ticket tent, and then there's a way you can win a go-kart you can drive around town. Oh, I do. I think I had a go on the go-karts.
She's asked me.
Maybe if you beat all the go-kart races at the carny. I'm pretty sure there's an electric scooter you can buy or somewhere too. Yeah, people were saying about this
I
scooter.
mean, I think there's been some
Maybe I'll go back to the
mistake.
carnival
You sure
tonight.
you haven't been hitting the bottle again?
No. I mean, yes, I am sure.
He has been hitting the bottle
Well,
again.
okay then.
He does seem pretty straight.
Bottle.
You're an alcoholic, dude.
Lionel,
Let's be
you
real.
came.
Fucking Reed
You look
Richards.
great.
Oi, oi,
So are
Savaloy.
you, Deirdre.
Thank you.
She's like wearing like the Cameron Diaz shit from The Mask.
Doing here?
With fishnets.
This boy.
Just remember the electric scooter or whatever takes a slot in your bike garage. It would be quite useful to have. It'd be probably a lot quicker. Hopefully you can still do backflips on it too.
Let's go.
Bye, Jimmy.
Jimmy, you should
Bye.
get back to school.
He has to have a cold shower first.
Oh, man.
I mean, you were going to turn up on a date like this, Jimmy? Come on now, dude. One slot is for your workshop bike, one is for your bought or obtained. Ah, okay. Okay, that makes sense, because yeah, I have two in there. You hit a bottle of 7-Up hard last night? Oh, you fucking madman!
Presenting me with a gift of some kind.
Last time I drank.
Okay, let's go see Hobo. He needs to... He has to have a name, right? Oh shit. Bike's still here, why not?
Glad I saw you today.
Last time I drank.
Okay, I can't jump now with the bike, okay.
Check this out, sucker. Who it is? My main
Fuck off.
You think I'm joking?
I really love funny.
Hey, I thought we were brother warriors.
Oh shit, you're too big.
It's a good conscience.
Russell's a good guy, I don't want to hurt him. Okay. I got my baby.
Thanks,
A green radio.
Okay, now let's train.
Alright. Choo choo, motherfucker.
Good to see you haven't forgotten me. It's all
course
about really hurting your opponent.
Roundhouse kick! Oh shit, okay. Nice, nice.
Come back sometime.
Hey, and Richia, thank you very much for the follow there, buddy, and welcome. How are you doing today? The Hobo has a power kick move that's pretty good. Yeah, he's taught me a couple of moves now, like with the kicks at least, like a sweep and a like, kick into the stomach. I've got a pretty good thing down with beating people up as well though. You punch them a few times in the face, grab them, punch them a few more times, get them on the ground, punch them a few more times, kick them in the nuts. Usually you're good. Hang about.
Why didn't I scare that nerd today? Smell you later. Soft. Too soft for me. So smell you later.
Wanna Oh, overeducated dorks suck. Yeah, right. Who like even people who can read. Would you like to guess what your nana got you? Socks and Lynx Africa.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
I reckon that's what you got. Randall's kick is really good if you get swarmed. Oh, okay. Like as a good area damage type thing. The nut kick is the best finisher. Yeah, right. If you can finish it with the nut kick, you're on Gold Street.
I like you, Jimmy, but I probably shouldn't. You know.
I'm afraid I have to leave.
I'll be one of those annoying fucking dickhead kids that just like wheelies down the middle of the road on the wrong way. 2 out of 5. Oh really? So you got socks? Like, so you're giving me 2 out of 5 because you got socks and socks? Oh no, but you got Lynx Africa. Okay.
Sure, you visit me soon, okay?
What's Christmas from your grandparents if you don't at least get Lynx Africa? It's how Lynx Africa's still like it's still being sold. It's been sold since like the 90s or some shit. But it's just because grandparents keep it alive, man. I don't want that. I want to go enjoy myself. You have the right to remain the policeman. Oh yeah, I need to smash more gnomes. Alright, hi there. Right, so Devil Hornhair, we need 15 tickets. We need to go to post and make 25 tickets. 65 tickets. 105 tickets. 180 tickets. Oh, the scooter's actually there though. 180 tickets. 220. 240. 250. 290. 300. 315. 335. Fuck me. 350. 300. Right. Let's go get 350 tokens, guys. We got it. Chocolate box and hoodie on top. Oh, okay. And some money. Fucking A. That's a pretty damn good fucking haul, man. Merry Christmas, Bakura. Just get the scooter. No, we have to do it all one by one. It's the only way. I can't remember which one's the easiest. Do I? Is it right trigger to throw on this one again? I can't actually remember. It's all going too fast. Could you slow it down? Could you slow it down, please? Buddy? Slow it down. Rudolph had a red-nosed hat. And it was snowy. My cap's in the fucking way from getting it, like, too quick. Next one's got to count. Get him!
Just goes to show you, can't trust nobody.
How many tickets did I get?
You cannot harm me, for I am where I bring the
Maybe... Oh, the, wasn't the strength... The strength one gives me tokens, right? This one might be the better one, because you just tap, right, I think, to power up.
Feeling really lucky, huh?
Yeah, button masher one. Yeah, this is probably easier.
We have a winner.
Okay, we just need to do this, like, 100 times, and we'll basically have enough money to buy everything.
You must have had a good horoscope today.
3 tickets at a time. I know we'll be there within days, Bakura. You know, it's going to be nothing, my man.
I think the next game is going to be your game for sure.
It's going to be nothing, man. Maybe I started that too early.
Really bought a ticket. You have to have a mean right hook, son.
I just teach lessons on how to just swing a fucking hammer. Oh, also, there was a level where I went into like into a house and I had to like smash it up with a giant fucking like warhammer, and it didn't let me keep it, man. If I'm too fucked to button, that's probably anymore, right? You should see Bakura in action. Bakura, I know like Bakura probably has like a turbo button on his mouse or something, but even on controller, that boy can button bash hard.
Well, looky here.
I wish there was a counter to show how many tickets you have at some point, though.
I really love
I have no idea. I suppose I could look in my inventory.
You must have had a good horoscope today.
No turbo here, son. There is a button on my mouse that lets me double click, like, and that works in some games, but yeah.
And that's that. In the hot tub.
You had 3 when you were in the shop. Yeah, but I haven't been keeping account of how many of these I've been doing. We gotta do it like 30 odd times. Well, not 30, that's a bit much, but like 25 or so. Maybe less.
Come on, come
Well, we need to... This game should have a limit to how fast you can mash it before it doesn't recognise. Yeah, that makes sense. It's just international track and field. It's like, yeah, it's made me terrified of this shit.
You must have had a good horoscope today.
We're definitely not at 70 tickets yet, anyway.
You have to have a mean right hook, son.
I'm done.
And I have rode the roller coaster, yeah. I think I have done everything in the fair, like including... I'm sure I did go-karts. I'm sure I did. I can double check. I think I've done everything in the fair. Beyond buying, you know, good shit.
Jimmy Hopkins delivers.
You must have had a good horoscope today.
My horoscope was on fucking fire today.
You have to have a mean right hook, son.
And I thought, yeah, I walked through the freak show, but the wrong way round. I couldn't get in the front. I could only get in the back of the freak show. So I had to walk the wrong way round. And then people kept trying to fight me when I was in there because of, they'd been preppy jocks and shit. Learned your technique from Final Fantasy VIII, right, okay.
Done and
I
done
don't know
right.
why Johnny would be mad.
You must have
I'll
had
check
a
my
good
inventory in a
horoscope
minute, see
today.
if there's any way I can actually, or if, do I have an inventory?
You have to have a
I don't even think I
mean
do,
right hook,
actually.
son.
I might, let me check.
And done.
And you're done. So we got available tasks, status, same there. Oh, there's inventory. Admission ticket, Tad's gate key. Oh, price tickets, here we go. So I got 42. Hey, I'm not too far off. So we need another, like 28. So 28 divide 3. 27 is 9. It's like, I'll do like 10 times just to be safe.
You know that?
You must have had a good horoscope today.
I don't know how to check, but if you walk into the ticket tent, it might say there. Oh, okay. I'll have another check. I'll go through the freak show again anyway. It was fun.
You must have had a good horoscope today. You have to have a mean right hook, son.
Do 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 do. I don't think I've ever actually tried one of these.
You must have had a good horoscope
Like,
today.
with these sort of machines, are they rigged in the same way? Like, because obviously a lot of like fairground rides and like machines like that are rigged to only win certain amounts of times.
Mean right hook,
But with these sort of ones, are they rigged? Do they just do it randomly, or is it actually like based on how hard you hit it?
You must have had a good horoscope today.
You never knew you could check your inventory like that in this game. I just found out. Oh, but did you see the game that PTW posted into your Discord? I did not know. What was it?
Stopping Jimmy Hopkins.
And you've seen people hit the bell? Okay.
You must have had a good horoscope.
Did they look like the sort of people that should be hitting the bell? Yeah, there probably is some sort of resistance to it for like some goes, so not everyone hits the top.
Mean right hook.
Although a lot of the time I know at fairs I've been to, these sort of ones don't give out prizes. They're just like bragging rights, basically.
You must have had a good horoscope today.
Gartic phone? Arctic phone, garlic phone.
Hook, son.
Ring, 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 ring. Garlic phone?
See you around, kiddo.
I also was counting how many I needed, but I've completely lost track now. I reckon we're on about 4 or 5. No, you did mean Gartic phone. I have no fucking idea what that means. Is it? I guess it's a phone?
A mean right hook, son.
Ain't no stopping Jimmy Hopkins.
Oh, Stream Raiders battle is ready, so we'll do this quick smash,
Had a good
and then we'll do it.
horoscope today.
Oh, the game's called Gartic phone. Sorry, my bad. Seems like a Jackbox sort of game, draw pool sort of thing. Okay, that could be cool.
Have a mean right
I mean, I really like Jackbox, but it's just one of those games where
Stopping Jimmy Hopkins.
it's super sketchy to play on stream sometimes because of randomness. But okay, let's do Stream Raiders quick, and then we'll get back to bashing the mallet on stuffs. So we got 20 allies. We're all gonna fight. We're all gonna live. No one's gonna die because we're just fighting fucking clams. Like, what can clams do, man? If you're allergic to shellfish, just sit at the back. Okay, we've had a death. Yeah, damn, that was quick. Nice. Hype, hype. Okay, so let's open up that chest and a winner. We'll give this one to Bakura. Okay, back to the map so we can attack. So we got, that's a gold chest, right? That's the bronze, so that's gold and that's silver. So we'll go for the gold chest. You know, money makes the world eat easier. And I'm going to put a rogue down. Even though Einen's going to get everything with his rogues. Okay, get to placing, lads. Get to placing. It says, invite friends to a call, write a sentence, draw a sentence you are given, and then describe what is given to you. Oh, okay. So kind of like, are we allowed to call Chinese Whispers still, or is it something completely different now? I seem to remember there being some, like, some rabble about it. But yeah, kind of like a Chinese Whispers style drawing game, I guess? Okay, let's quickly check my inventory. How did I change before? No, go. That's it. 66. Oh, okay. We need like 2 more wins, basically. I think it was 70.
You must have had a good horoscope today.
To be fair, that's not bad, man. Like, you need 70 tokens to get a working scooter. Like, 70 tokens. And the tokens you can get free for £1, basically. That's ridiculously cheap. Even like if they were 1 token for $1. That'd be a really good deal for a fucking scooter. One that I assume I can do backflips on, you know?
You have to have a mean right hook, son.
Was that the second one? I really wasn't paying attention. I assumed that was the second one. Yeah, we good, we good.
What are you gonna do? Show you Nate what you can do. Step right up. Get some bed. You tall freaks are all the same.
Shame we can't actually go into the funhouse.
Show you Nate what you can do. You are so dead. You should be in bed, kiddo. Step back from me. You wouldn't last 2 hours.
Just stop that. That's it. I want to beat nerds up. That's it. You get him, greaser buddies. Ah. Oh, it's actually super late. I'm going to have to stop because I need to get home before 2 or I'll pass out. I was going to go ride the roller coaster again, but we'll come back here another night as well. Honestly, the bike is better than the moped, but the moped is fun to own. Can you switch them around? Like, I'm guessing I can like choose what I want in my garage. I mean, I usually don't even use my bike that much. I usually milk other people for theirs. It's 75 tickets! Motherfucker. I was even going to do one more for good measure, but I didn't because I chose not to. Oh, now the goddamn fair is closed! God damn it. Just pass out, your shoes might disappear. Well, I can't now get to, I can't actually get back into the fair anyway, yeah. I guess the fair closes at 1 to give you time to get home. See, I haven't yet actually passed out. Maybe I should pass out some night.
What's going on? Don't do that.
His head's all hanging down because he's all tired and stuff. We'll save it in the morning because he's going to die otherwise. That's what you need to hear in a bloody morning. Oh yeah, that's what we want. Ah yeah, that's just as perfect as I was hoping it was going to be. That is literally everything I was expecting and more. The leopard print pants are a damn good addition. I think we found our forever uniform. You look like a ratchet. Like a ratchet Hal. Good.
Totally ruled. Like ruled the school. Like that.
I am the one and only. Even though he wasn't like glam rock. And that was like more 90s, right?
I wish the school challenged.
Look at me.
They
They looked at me.
Moving along, punk. Before I get him.
I'm not a punk. I'm a rocker.
Picking on me.
I'm a rocker. You can fuck yourself.
I don't think you're out there actually undercover.
Why is she
There
leaving?
will be consequences for that.
Nah, there won't.
Hi. Why is she leaving about you? Why?
I'm rock and roll now, baby.
Why are you picking on me?
Stop picking on me! Knee shot.
Get out of here.
I'll leave him to be living. He can't have children now, so at least that's that. He was just fun to tackle. What are you doing? Leave it out. Leave it out. I'm trying to learn. Oh wait, I'm not even meant to be in here for this.
Just take off the damn shoes.
Fuck you. They're my shoes. Uh-oh. This one's going to be a shop one.
Check this out, sucker. See ya.
I don't want to see any trouble. Last time I saw Pat
So yeah, the shop one...
was on a track.
The shop one is shitty because you have to... If you got the analog prompt, you have to be doing the analog prompt before it comes onto screen. So like, it's fine once you know the pattern, I guess, but
Who bought those pants for you? Your mom?
she did actually, yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can stuff in trash cans, you can hide in trash cans. It's it. It's always a bike. I've got a moped now. Who gives a shit about the bike? I suppose this will still be my thing. Right, so I'm going to assume it's going to want me to spin the wheels. So I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to start spinning. There we go. Now we're good. Right, now it's going to be like tapping A. Then it'll be tapping X. And then it might introduce something else before the next spiral. I'm not sure. Oh, no, there we go. A spiral there. Bollocks. But that was clockwise again, so that's good. So we'll start with clockwise now. I'm clockwise-ing. I'm clockwise-ing. I'm clockwise-ing. Okay, now we rap-a-tap. Rap-a-tap-a-tapper. Rap-a-tap-a-tapper. Now we start clockwise-ing again. Now we're clockwise-ing. Now we're clockwise-ing. Now we tap X. And then it'll be a reverse clockwise, I reckon. So I'm going to start that. It was reverse clockwise! Hey! Okay, okay. Good shit. I've got, if the best bike is from the workshop or the bike shop. Well, I know I brought like a mountain bike from the bike shop because it's all terrain. But the BMXs obviously keep getting better and better the more you do this.
That's how it's done.
That's a pretty cool looking BMX. It's got colour to it. And wheels.
Ain't no stopping Jimmy.
Ain't no stopping us. Ain't no stopping.
This here's for you.
Please don't make me cry.
Greasers suck. Rockers rule. There you go. Done my job. So stronghold assault. Oh, I'll wait for next lesson. Can I just spray individuals?
Jimmy, why are you hitting me?
I'm PJ and Duncan in him. Now he's blind. Poor PJ and Duncan. Rip.
Leave me alone.
Heads up.
Look at me, Wood. You like to face the front yard revenge? You suck, man.
We're coming for you, dork crumb.
You think Olaf?
Right thing, but really better. I shall deal.
I didn't do it. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I totally didn't do it. Wow. Wow. Just putting shit on me. I didn't do shit. Oh shit, he's still on me. The stronger assault might be a really good mission if it's the mission you think it is. Oh, okay. Okay, cool, cool. I'm trying to like I'm trying to get like the school lessons done as well, because I'm aware like I could finish the game without doing those. There's 5 chapters I think, and we got a good few lessons still to do. Mainly because like geography, for example, geography's like, yo, you need to know the states in America. Who knows states in America? Like Brunson, you live there. Do you know American states? Like what the fuck?
I don't understand. Looking good today.
Fuck you. She called me a dork. She called me a dork. Don't be a dick. All right. Now sexual assault from a rock star. You can take that to the bank. What lesson is this? Art. Oh fucking art. Art. Oh no. Photography. Oh, photography's alright. Yeah. It's art. That's the hard one. Hey, and JJ4v4. How you doing there, buddy? The geography one sucks. It's like, I mean, like, how the hell am I meant to know geography? So, what did they want? Scenic. Did they say they wanted scenic pictures? No, I wanted this one. Or maybe. Take a photo of the main building of the school. Oh, okay.
Look at me, Wood.
Why are you picking on me?
Look at the hey.
Why are you picking on me?
Maybe.
That wasn't a good photo, but sweet.
Look at me, Wood.
So the rest are all in mainly in town. Okay. Could use that goddamn scooter right about now. It's harder for you to remember the central states. Yeah, that's it. I guessed a few of the like the sea-based states because some of those are a bit more like memorable. But inland, fuck knows. Like, where the fuck's I can't even remember the places. That's how lame it was. Actually, no. Let's go to these ones first. No, that's not where I want to be. Get in. Excuse me, coming through. Beep beep. So one's on the beach. Okay. You belly flopped down it. Take a photo of the lighthouse. Okay. God damn it. Just. Where's my camera? There it is. Great photo. Top 20. And it's the other one at the fairgrounds. Okay. Good photo. I don't know why I'm even. Yeah, I don't even need to line it up. I can just take a random shot. I am incredible. It's a shame I have so many voices in my head though. These funky pants could stand by themselves. That sounds sexual. Oh shit, so there's one right across up there. Okay, so we go to the one on the bridge, we should be able to take the dirt path back to the other one. Alright, so that's what we'll do. South Texas, North Texas, Wisconsin has Nebraska. That's correct. That's correct. Bean cola. Okay.
Look at that!
Look at your fucking face.
If you wear that hat around, the kids are gonna make fun of you.
I think I'll keep this.
Hey, another transistor. Fucking A. I just have to find the entrance. There it is. A nice picture of the graveyard. Wolf Church. That one. Oh, come on, you're a bad photo. That way, that way. No, don't. You're gonna make me look for it. There we go. Beautifully framed. And howdy day, Ray, and how are you doing, my man? Have you been having internet troubles? It might be. I've got quite a few transistors by now. Maybe this might be the 5th. I'm not entirely sure. Gonna jump out, but see in a couple hours. No worries, back sounds good. What's time now? 5:30. So yeah, sweet. We'll try and start you at like 7:30. So yeah, Kishti. Get to the bus stop. Yeah, have a good time, my man, and I'll catch you like, I guess, in the call. And all this for school, you know.
You think I'm joking?
You're a nice person, right?
This is a giant bug. That stupid thing on your head. Untouchable. Love those shoes. Those crap boys are so...
You really should get a nice hat, Whip.
People don't realize this is just my hair now. It's not a hat. It never was a hat.
Why are you wearing...
Great work, Jim. It
Thanks,
really
Mrs.
shows
Teacher.
your sensitive side.
Thank you, Mrs. Teacher. I like how you actually get lots of stuff for doing the lessons as well. You don't have to like finish all the lessons before you start getting some stuff at least.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh, digi
Jimmy
camera.
Hopkins.
I mean, does it really make a difference?
Ain't no stopping
Better
Jimmy
zoom, maybe? I
Hopkins.
don't know.
think a dog pissed on your pants, dingus.
Stop, you'll make me puke.
I think a dog pissed on your pants, dingus.
Hello.
Actually, it was just me who pissed on my own pants. I thought that's what we do.
What happened to your pants? Take that hat off. You know, that's just like a dork. Really? I don't understand why you'd wear that on your head.
I'm going to nip your crime spree in the butt.
That was straight Bart Simpson, that one. That was... Okay, let's try doing Stronghold Assault.
I'm going to nip your crime spree.
Oh no, wait. No. Actually, let's go to the fair and get those last 3 tickets and buy a scooter. Because then by the time we come back, we might be able to see the Hobo. Oh no, we can see Hobo now. Alright, we'll go see Hobo. And then we'll go get ourselves a scooter. And then we'll be rocking and rolling.
A Spanish pirate with mustache. That's really funny.
Gotta go, Jimmy.
Oh, this is number 6. Yeah, you're right. Last one was number 5. So this might be the last one, you say?
I suppose you want to train again?
Yeah, let's train.
Just what I wanted. There's a special way to grab someone's head and punch it both.
Oof, nice. That's a pretty fucked up punch.
Kick some ass. I gotta go mess with my project.
So yeah, that's six transistors we've done for him now then. Or maybe that's oh, here we go. I was gonna say maybe 5 because the first one might not have counted because it was the first mission, but oh,
Ain't no stopping Jimmy Hopkins. Word up, Coolio.
oh. I was dressed as an alien earlier, but oh, he gone now. He just needs to contact the aliens. That's cool though. He's living his best life, or he's dead. Either way, he's one of the things.
Play more with this James Bond.
But that was cool. I like it. Again, this is sort of the Rockstar shit I love, man.
Those funky pants can stand by themselves. See you later. Typical pauper shoes in 14.
Wait, I was gonna say, does he come back? Jump off the dock? Oh, okay.
See ya. See you later. Catch you later.
Whilst on the bike, or?
See you around, kiddo.
Can you help me visit my mama?
Crashing in style.
Like that? Is that what I should have done?
Fine today. Baby, you are looking fine today. Baby, you are looking
Ah, down here.
fine today.
Time to call my mama, sir.
Oh, I have to go deeper? Okay, hang on, let me dive back in there. I'm already here now, so I might as well. And jump off, like, the front bit here?
It's just bad.
Can you help me,
To the
sir?
left, okay. So jump off here. Behind that island. What, like behind the mechanical island? Now right. I did not dive very well. Can I dive under the water? I can't actually dive under the water, can I?
That's incredible. That's incredible.
More left.
I have to go to Nurse McRae's office, sir.
Right, I'll wait for instructions. So here-ish. Right off the barge, okay. Straight, okay. I'm gonna head towards that boy. Slowly curve right around that island, okay. Ooh. Pirate ship. Is that what you were leading me to? I'm gonna go to the pirate ship until you tell me otherwise. Yeah, fucking A. That was cool as hell. Just chucking a little pirate ship. Nice.
I might need that.
Hey, and a card. Nice. Wow, man. It's like that film, Waterworld. Nice. Well, cheers for showing me that. Go to the beach on the right, so this one, I'm guessing? Oh.
Why are you hiding your head
Oh.
with that thing?
Why here? Who are you? A pirate! Yarr! You be a pirate. And now you be a nutty pirate. Fucking A. Cheers for letting me know. If you know any other little Easter eggs, feel free to tell me those. That was cool. No. I missed a gnome? Oh shit, yeah I did. Man, I'm missing all these gnomes. I only got 3. Yeah, cheers. But shit. Alright. Now we gotta swim to the fair. But nice. Oh, actually, we can't keep the long hair with the pirate hat. Because if we could put the pirate hat on this outfit with the long hair, that would have been rock and roll. Maybe it'll give us some sort of long hair though. Only Jesus knows. That's it, Jimmy. We're getting there, buddy. He really is quite the athlete, man. He can swim and run forever. Even in, like, wet clothes and shit. What do you want? What you got for me? Just a bit of wood? It's one of your favourite secrets in the game. It's a great one, man. It's cool, like, it's nice having, like, big things that, like, lead to stuff in games, but it's also cool just having, like, little random things that could have easily been missed. You take off your awful old lady smell. Oh, that was a really nice revert if I hadn't crashed into a wall. Can I just get a season pass to this place?
Oh, you like that crane? It was a tiger, not a crane.
I hope they get a new carnival this year. Can you handle the snow? Can you feel the excitement?
Library fines are unfair. $20 a girl.
Boys who win games like this.
Okay, let's do this.
You must have had a good horoscope today.
Boom, baby.
Mean right hook, son.
Ain't no
Alright.
stopping Jimmy Hopkins.
Where'd you get those shoes, Hawkins? On your pants, dingus. You're thinking Cap.
We should have time to go have a little ride.
Shirt is
That can't be safe.
Oh yeah. That's a kid it felt like way longer to grind for. I bet, man. It probably was harder to like tap on the old controllers too. Maybe it was more expensive than on. Oh, it could have been. Yeah, this is the scholarship, so maybe maybe they changed it up. It was pretty quick to get it for a drivable vehicle, you know. Whee! Whoa! Whoa!
Maybe the carnival isn't so
That was
bad.
intense. I shat myself many times, and I've barely eaten. Now there was rides back there, but...
You kid, step on.
Oh wait, I say right on it. I just want to get my back.
I can't believe
Then we can be
this
bikey bikey boys.
Before I
Scooter away! Do you wish to replace your current bike, Scooter? Sure. So yeah, this should replace my bought bike, I imagine then, because I've bought this scooter,
Here's your trash.
which I'm cool with.
I mean, prize.
Alright.
This is for you, you skinny little kid.
It's just delivered to my thing, hey.
test your skill right here. Real great odds.
Gonna go... Yeah, cool. Yeah, go for it. Because if so, I'll come back, maybe like tomorrow night, I'll come back on this to try out, if we get the go-kart shit. If we could ride a go-kart around town, that'd be incredible. Oh, the revert to the revert. All aboard. Okay.
Russell loves
Watch your toilet stand. Wanna come look at my fist?
Why are you picking on me?
I wasn't picking on you, you're just gonna wear my rad skills.
Patrick, call me a twerp.
Sure, twab. Get him. Okay. I'm not trespassing, that's bullshit. I was asked to be here by a teacher.
You got business here?
Yes. Oh yeah, it's Bill Murray.
Get away, foul vision of hell!
Sir, you sent for
I'm
me?
just a rock star.
It stalks me, but I've seen the light. I know you're not there, devil!
Dr. Watts, sir, it's Hopkins. It's me, not the devil. He couldn't make it.
Oh!
Are you okay?
Oh.
What did you do?
I was mixing
Took some
chemicals
acid.
for my research when there was an explosion.
Right.
The vapors have got to me again.
Oh, the go-kart's vehicle obtainable after completing the 5 go-kart races at the carnival and the 3 street races. Oh, okay. The final street race is unlocked after Chapter 5. The go-kart is the fastest drivable vehicle in the game and can outrun any authority figure chasing Jimmy, even on motorbikes, but only if travelling in a straight line, and can knock out a nerd in 4 hits. Okay, the go-kart will probably appear in any colour that's randomly picked by the computer at the garage. Okay. Cheers for the info. Okay. So I think I've done 2 of the street races. So obviously I've done those now, so I think I just have to do 4 more go-kart races and then wait for that final one after Chapter 5. This guy is literally a drug dealer.
All right, go pick up the stuff from my lab technician. He's in town, in Trailer Alley.
Okay, we'll go for that at some point though.
A little far from your dorm, huh?
Nah, it really isn't.
Halt!
I'd rather not.
I've got you in my sights.
I've got you under my sights. We don't have too much time to do this mission, but I have faith. Excuse me? You're violating curfew? What are you doing? I've been catching people. There's people breaking curfew that I was showing to you.
These new kids, so darn away.
Okay, this isn't the best one to do a backflip on, I guess. There you go. That's for you, Einan. Shit. I failed the mission too, so all I can really do is go home. Everyone can blame Einan for that one. I had to give him what he wanted. Otherwise he would have beaten me. By throwing me off a bike midair. Okay.
You, come over here and take your beat.
I don't wanna. Okay. And let's do a little cooking. Make a little meth. Get down tonight. Right, so. Yeah, I want a pirate hat. Does take away a long hair. Okay. Shut your pie hole. That's pretty good. Trying to think what would go best with a pirate hat. Maybe that. Brown jacket kind of works with it. Maybe I could be a pirate like that, yeah. He needs a watch. He never knows what the time is. Black ninja outfit goes pretty well with the pirate hat. Ah, yeah, I can imagine. Oh, they're really cool music jammy panties. I like those. I hadn't seen those before. Or maybe actually those work kind of alright for a pirate. For whatever reason. Maybe if it's a superhero pirate. You wonder if the Hatter Sheriff clip kill is getting deleted. Oh yeah, I don't know, I was going to say that. Yeah, I wonder if it's because like I had music playing in the background. And because it was going to like, maybe it's like if they mute a stream, maybe they won't let you clip that part because it's already been muted. But it's savage. I think I'm going to wear the bomber jacket. I don't know why I think that works somehow. We need some boots. It was great, right? He gave so much faith into me. I was tempted to kill him straight away as well, but as soon as he started like opening up to me, it was all go. And his story! Thank you very much for the follow there, buddy. Welcome. How are you doing today? We're gonna rock riot boots. Yeah, perfect. And how you doing there, history? Welcome. Lovely to have you. Thank you again for the follow. Yeah, when he was asking me if I had suspicions and shit. I mean, if you can hear the clip, that means it obviously hasn't been. If you can still see the VOD and it's not been muted, then yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I've seen you try and post it a couple of times and it just would not work.
Why'd she leave me? Why?
Oh, stream ready is ready. Let's get to it. Jimmy got his ears pierced for this one. Bloody hell. Okay, so let's go do stream raiders quick. Let's get to it. Remember that one time we did the crash on PUBG? Oh my god, man. Yeah, with like Nate and Matty. God damn, that was hilarious. Yeah, that was probably my favorite moment of PUBG. that was crazy. Just how fucking high I got launched. It was nuts. And hugs from Brazil, giving him right back at you. Thank you very much. You managed to clip it and it got rid of it. Yeah, that's savage, man. Wait, is that box a mimic? You have mimics and shit in this? That mimic bin. Those mimics fucked us up. Fucking Rogue's just going to get shit instead of fighting giant evil turtles. Oh, Jesus, this is a big fight. You played this game on PS2? This is the first time I've done a proper, like, actual run-through of it, and I'm loving it. I'll be upset once this game's over. It's been so fun. You didn't place a single rogue? Ah, you should have owned him. We lost because of you. Yeah. Oh, shit. You have 2 retry tokens. Let's keep playing then, I guess. Let's retry that battle, guys. Let's rock and roll. So, I'm going to put down a musketeer. Because then maybe 3 of him will come. Oh, so this one has... The sumo dude will go into another sumo dude. They'll go into another sumo dude. Etc. You know. The ending is so weird how it works out. Oh, really? Yeah, I haven't really thought about how it's going to end beyond, like, maybe just the school year ending kind of thing. But it seems to be that, like... Consumo, yeah. Like, part of me's thinking, because obviously it's building up in the story that it seems like Jimmy's getting quite arrogant and becoming kind of a bully now. So I think it'll probably come, like come to a head. Like, everyone will hate Jimmy. Because he's a pirate.
I hate that I can't find freaking hilarious.
Oh, I'm out of paint.
Greetings, comrades.
Oh my god, he's communist.
Stop.
Get out of my way.
I thought I was a good guy, Jimmy.
You are, but...
I don't have time to bother.
Slaps. Okay, so we're going to see what's good. You're lucky I've got nothing. Oh, I've got enough to spray people in the eyes, apparently, but not enough to actually do artwork. What the hell? Oh, I'm going to give you tips for dating. Watch this.
Can I convince you to make out with me?
Well met. A better way to know that would love that hat.
Ask them out, spray them in the eyes if they say no.
Stick it in your ear.
Next time I see her, the romance will be real. We lost, but you got a decent amount. Okay, that's good. Yeah, spray painting in the eyes is fucking savage, man. That's how PJ or Duncan, I can't remember which one, got blinded in Biker Groove. Well, it wasn't spray paint; it was a paintball, but you know, like it was still paint damage in the eyeball, making them blinded forever. What class is this? Fuck. Okay, anybody that wants to help with American states, you're more than welcome. It would be fucking horrible, man. Yeah, it probably would blind you. Right. So there's a couple I think I'll remember. You know all of them, Einen. Zero, you can help. Okay, my boy. My boy. And have you been in here already? I don't think you have, actually. How are you doing today, Zero? My boy. Okay, so California is here. I don't think I learned what that was. Florida is down here. Montana's not a real place. We've already found that out. No, I don't know. Now I don't know. Arizona. Is Arizona like... Nope. You popped in earlier. Okay, yeah, cool. Okay, sweet. And Gil, baby! How you doing today, dude? Now, okay, where's Kansas? Because Kansas is sandy. I mean, Louisiana is left of Florida. Okay, nice one, nice one. Louisiana, what's this one? This one? Yeah, okay, fucking A. Right, sweet. North Carolina is this one. No. And that's another one that's not real. Montana is... wait, where's Montana here? Montana is the big one, 2 in from top left. 2 in from top left, like here? Or like here, do you mean? Michigan is the north right one. Okay, let me... Where's Michigan?
Try again.
What the... Okay. Which one was it? That was, No red on right is... And see, wait. Michigan is the north right one. Hang on. Have I already done that one? Yeah, I've done that one right. From the left. Arizona, is... one-ish. Is the... Wait, is... Oj's one next to California? This one? Yeah! Okay. Shut up, Brunson. Michigan. Have I done Michigan? Have I done it? I've done Michigan. Texas is a big one. Yeah, but there's no fucking Texas. New York is like, what? Here? No, here. No, it was there. God damn it. Texas. Fuck you. That isn't Texas. It's got oil fields. It was Texas. Utah is like, no one likes Utah. Ah!
Try again.
And Harry System, you enjoy your dinner, my man. We'll catch you soon, dude. The red one on the right. There's no, it's lies. It's like, you're being lied to as well. These states don't exist. They don't. None of them exist. I don't even think America exists. It's for laughing. Oh, actually, I might have a lesson in here. I'll wait around. Let's see if he ever gets his vision back. You got your eyes on me? I don't think you have you? Oh shit! What are you doing? I was just blinding children. Oh, never mind. Thank you. Oh wait, hang on. I'm just gonna hide from these jerks. And 2 in from top left. I still didn't get what you meant. Yeah. Can he not see me there? That's crazy. So that's Matt Montana. Oh, I see. So okay, I get what you mean now. Because you were saying it was 2 in. I thought you meant like on my options, but you just meant on the actual squares, even if there wasn't the option kind of thing. I'm guessing. Either way, it's bullshit.
You will not escape the long arm of the law.
Why am I so attracted to bad boys?
You can't hide from the pain train.
A Spanish pirate.
Shit, I got myself. Circle around.
100%
You will not escape the long arm of the law. You will not escape the long arm of the law.
hide from the pain train. You imbecile guy, imbecile.
Got him. Meant 2 states, and yeah, that's fair. Yeah, right. no other. Even England doesn't exist. It's all just. We're just all in a big orb, you know. Classes, I can't wait.
I need more growth. This school needs more discipline.
Math 4, we got this, okay.
While it's true you may never use what's taught in my class, that doesn't give you the right to play hooky.
I'll play hooky. I can do that. So, questions. Which is the fastest? Which is the lowest? How many triangles? 7. 49 equals... Yeah.
You can do better than
0 equals that. Okay, what is the biggest? A spaceship, I would imagine, really. But 6 plus 8 is 14 plus 3. Which is the fastest? I know that. Yeah. A quarter is... 13 plus 8 is 21. Plus 2 is 23. Which is the fastest? I mean, a space rocket. Yeah, cool. What is the shortest? Fake house. That one. There is 3. Yeah? Which is the slowest? Tuttle. How many squares? There is 7. 3,000 is true. I don't know, this one? Cool. 1 plus 4 is 3. What is the smallest? A key. 17 plus 8 is 25. 1,200 is true. That one is, that one's actually, Oh, thank fuck. I didn't see if I'd passed, but I didn't get all the questions. My heart skipped a beat there. I was like, shit, I'm gonna fail map. I got it though. I'm pretty smart. Didn't know the metrics. I just don't ever weigh anything. Unless it's grams, I don't weigh shit. Well, up to an ounce maybe, but should switch over to pounds. I mean, to be fair, we do use pounds as well. Just for different things. We use pounds and stone for weight, but grams and kilograms for like measuring food.
So, are you gonna get me something nice?
I'll pound you, get him.
Bite me,
Last
Dewey!
time I drank cough syrup.
Okay, so Stronghold Assault. Was that the one I fucked up? That was the one Einan asked me to do a flip on, wasn't it? Yeah, that's it. Don't start me. I'm in pirate mode, baby. Me too, right? He even opened a door for me.
But at least I've got loser friends to hang out with.
Oh, wait, I haven't done this one yet.
We
Okay,
wouldn't
I was
let
gonna
you
skip
into
it.
our gang, Pete, because
What did I
you're
fail on
weird.
before?
Weird. Look at you. You've got a weak bladder. Hey, Algie, I need some help. I've got a plan to take over those jock scum. Hey, Jimmy. Hey. So what do you say, Algie?
Us help you?
Yeah, think of everything I've done for you since I got here.
You? You're like a bouncer. We're a bit above helping people like you.
Whoa.
Real duh. Pee stain.
I can see your fucking underwear.
Need my help. Forget it.
Damn.
I'm gonna start calling him
you know
Pea
what
Stain
you gotta
more.
do now, don't you? What?
Kill
beg
him.
No, get to Ernest. He runs that clique with the rod of iron. You get him on your side, and you got the rest of
I know,
them in the
algae.
palm of your hand.
Been saying algae
How?
wrong,
By joining the
bastards.
trigonometry club?
His
No,
name's
that
Algernon.
would
Why not
never
just
work.
Al?
You gotta show 'em
You
the
know?
boss. You might be onto something. See you later.
Kids are dumb.
Hey, wait, Jimmy.
Hashtag
Can I
dumb
come for
too.
once?
Oh, poor Pete. No. You're a dork. Remember? I'm a jerk, you're a dork.
Hi.
That's why we love each other.
See ya.
Where is he?
Really
Hey,
funny.
losers. Mind telling me where your fearless leader is? I'm afraid your diplomacy skill is too low. Won't tell you.
Alright, sweet. I'll just beat the shit out of you.
But don't tell him I told you.
I'm gonna tell him you told me. What's your name?
Talk it out. At least it isn't me
Nerd.
getting beat. Why are you wearing those pants?
Forget it, Hop.
Is that the early version of
You're
what
not
are those?
getting in without the key code. Okay, it's 1138.
These nerds are hilarious, man. I give up so easy. You think this actually might be the mission? Okay. But like a good one? I'm enjoying it so far. Nerd bashing time. This is what we're here for, baby. This is why we were streaming today. Nerd bashing time. Oh, you wanna go? You wanna go? Let's go, fam. Oh my god. So I think you're going to look a really good thing. Okay, sweet. Alright, Kushti.
All right.
Serpentine, serpentine. It's funny as well when I go for the knee, like the cock shot, and end up spitting on them because I've already beaten them up so much. Nerd. Wow, he just killed his own friend. Itchy nerd.
Better collect this.
Oh, I wanted to take him off the edge. I was hoping I was gonna like spear him right off the edge and shit. Don't do that, that's painful. Oh, he actually blocked me. Good thing Pete wasn't here, man. He'd have died. I'm gonna blind this cunt. Get the fuck out. It's for PJ and Duncan. Also known as Ant and Deck. So, botany is a pain in the ass. You should try, like, the injection type ones. What's that called? Botox. Maybe that's it. Botoxony. Maybe that's what you need to try. Botany sounds fun though, right? You just get to make plants and that. That's what Method Man was studying in How High. bet he made like some really good truth serum weed.
I'll show you.
So I saw someone shooting. Oh, they're over there. Stop it. Fucking algae, piece of shit.
Why does this always happen to me?
Why does this always happen to me? It's because you're a nerd. I guess I have to destroy that? I don't think I can. I got me hard. Hey, and hats, baby! Lovely team, my man. I can get it, I think. I saw something red. Like, briefly. Did you not? Oh, I guess I go over here. No. I think just... Oh shit, I was knocked out! Bollocks, I forgot about that. I forgot that was an option. Oh fuck. Alright, I gotta redo it again now. God damn it.
Good day, my friend. Greetings and salutations.
Get the fashion. Ah, right, okay. Savage. Let's go try it again.
Care anymore. This isn't for you.
Dog pissed on your pants, dinged it.
Stronghold site. Oh, it's discrete deliveries I failed, wasn't it? Okay. Okay. Yeah, give it a try. I wasn't quite sure where to go.
I may be a
That was probably
loser,
more
but at
my
least I got
fault than
loser
anything.
friends to hang out with. Whatever.
Powerbox or his face. Well, I'd like to get near his
Unstable
face, but...
molecule.
Really love bunnies.
To study the
So
love. Get out of here, Jimmy!
Really squashed my cupcake.
He's at the observatory, but don't tell him I told you.
Nerd.
Tofu bread. I'm hungry already.
Tofu breath. Boy, I'm a meat eater.
Anyway,
Forget it,
bye.
Hopkins. You're not getting in without the key code. Okay, it's 1138. Why must you always resort to unnecessary violence?
Just, you're a dog. Get him. I like them meats, my man. Oh my god, this guy's shooting rockets. That's pretty dangerous. Yeah. I should just run through with my basically a gun. Oh. I'm going to guys, but I would touch Dave Grohl's drumstick. Don't quote me on that though. Overrated. You did. That was a good fight. Can I get you from here? Oh, you lucky bastard. Oh. Not. Maybe not a lucky bastard. You lucky girl. 17. Ah! You got me on the 17. Okay. Oh, so there is actually a dude on it. Okay, I didn't actually see the guy on it previously. Okay, right. Okay, and there's that light as well. Yeah, okay. Right, okay. Destroy the transformer. Sometimes you just have to look at what they've told you to do, I guess, but I personally think that's the coward's way out.
I'm in pain.
Oh shit, you got me. Sweet. Okay, time to break down the door.
I'm gonna go snicker snack on you, angry mobile sword.
They've already opened the door for me. Bloody nerds. Make sure there's no other like bands. How's it going?
This looks useful.
Oh, this door is probably the one they're saying I'll never break down. Can I... Is that not a broken window to get into? Well, I never. Say hello to my new friend. Get potatoed. Yeah, that's it. It is actually a spud cannon, is it? That's cool. Oh shit. Window nerds. Apparently this counts as vandalism. I mean... Oh yeah. Get him. I lost 100 respect from the nerds, but got 5 from the jocks.
Ernest, what are you doing?
Oh shit.
Give it up,
What the
dork.
fuck,
You
man?
work
What is
for me
this?
now.
You're pathetic. You've defeated my weakest compadres. You've just met your match.
I want us to be
That's a
friends. I
cool
need your
elevator
help.
balcony.
Had friends like you.
Balcony elevator.
Kind who treat you like dog muck on their shoes. No thanks, bud.
Come on.
It's my brains against your brawn. Welcome to hell, Jimmy Hopkins.
Ooh, I hear hell's really
It's
nice.
funny now.
Oh no, wait.
They all
I was thinking of
invent
Devon.
battles with your mom. Then you'll be sorry. You'll never take me alive. Never, you hear? Never.
Okay. I saw something red light up here. Ah, the planets. Can't have an observatory without a planet or star system. I think I just killed Earth. Alright. Ah, okay. He ran on thin air like some sort of cartoon character. Is that bees? Oh no, they're not bees. That's fine. As long as it's not bees.
Got a present for you.
Oh shit.
Oh, you'll like this.
I don't even need to. Oh, I do need to charge it a little bit. Oh shit. No Nazis. Yeah, I love this nerd battle music. It's fucking awesome.
Can't we all just get along? No.
I didn't even need to manually aim. I could have just done this.
Bastard.
I'm a bastard. You're the one throwing fucking explosive bees. Oh, what's that in his hands? Is that a freeze ray?
Maybe now he'll listen to me.
Here, just take it.
It best be a freeze ray.
You're just like everyone else.
Or a
Picking up
miniaturized
one
ray.
man.
I'm not like everyone else.
He's just like everyone else.
Honestly. Now
That's a
listen.
spud cannon, that
Both
makes
want the
sense.
same thing, to teach those jocks a lesson.
That's cool though.
From now on,
That would be
we're
better at
buddies.
aiming than the fireworks thing. Because fireworks thing's only good close range. It's more like a
We're
shotty.
friends. We work together.
I'm gonna shoot this nerd in the face. Spud gun, baby. Good shit. Can hear some rats. They're blatantly there for me to try out. Did I miss you? Spud gun shit. It's fucking shit, mate. Look, it's fucking shit. That one died on its own. This one don't want to die though. I have none left. Okay. Right, I'm going to pause it there. How long do we have left on Stream Raiders? 7 minutes. Okay, we're actually going to take a quick break because I need another